Well, it has been an overcast day, and this afternoon we had a complex of some showers move on through, but those have since dissipated and moved on off to the south and to the east. But we're talking some more showers and thunderstorms as we get on to the middle portion of this week. We'll talk all about it in just a little bit. Your Twin States News starts now. It has been an overcast day, and this afternoon we had a few showers and even a few rumbles of thunder move on through, but those have since dissipated and moved on off to the south and to the east. Behind it, we're just left with some cloudy conditions. Fortunately, though, some more showers and thunderstorms are on the way as we get into the middle portion of this week. We'll talk all about it in just a little bit. Your Twin States News starts now.
Students from one university in Boston are here in Meridian helping our local Habitat for Humanity. I'm Emily Erickson, and I'll have more details coming up.
The completion of a home damaged by a tornado last year is on the way. I'm Cameron Brewer, and there's more coming up.
Good evening, I'm Mark Edwards.
And I'm Lauren McCullough. Thanks for watching Twin States News. Most students in the country are on spring break this week, and that means traveling to various vacation destinations for many families.
Yeah, however, some college students from Boston, Massachusetts are here in Meridian for the week volunteering. Twin States reporter Emily Erickson has our top story.
Students from one university in Boston have traveled all the way down here to Meridian to help our local Habitat for Humanity.
We're going to do a lot of painting, remodeling, like demolition when it needs to be done, and then reinstallation of certain things.
We kind of just come help out, learn from the community, and rebuild.
These two homes are being remodeled over the next month so that families in need can rent them again, and these students are focused on more than just fixing them up.
Back home, I was a part of the Rotary Club too, which is like a volunteer group. And, you know, I think it's important to give back because you could need help someday and you'd want the help from your community. So
I just love helping people. I always want to help people. So when I heard about an opportunity where I can come, I've never been out of New England. So when I figured a place I found a place that I can like actually come get out of New England and help people, I jumped on it.
While all their college majors differ, they're all focused on one idea.
We're all human, and you know, like we all should see ourselves as equal, and we should always go out and like help one another because it's important and it makes perfect sense to always help people.
Reporting in Meridian, Emily Erickson, Twin States News.
Students will be here for the remainder of the week, but to see how you can get involved with the project, be sure to visit our website.
The Mennonites are finishing up repairs on a home belonging to a storm victim who had severe damage after last April's tornado. Twin States reporter Cameron Brewer has the update.
In April, an EF2 tornado hit the area, costing thousands of dollars in repair costs and a burden for those with little to no assistance. In December, the Mennonites Disaster Service began repairing the home by first adding a new roof.
By times, it has been pretty difficult with all the rain. In fact, we had scares of storms here recently. The one that touched down in northern Mississippi and then in Alabama more recently. Yeah, it's been a challenge to get the jobs finished.
Now months into the construction has passed thanks to generous organizations that gave when most needed.
The money's come from the communities and from Red Cross, Catholic Charities, Lutheran Social Services, Methodists. When a disaster happens in an area, it's amazing how money funnels into the area.
Because of this, the homeowners are thankful for the financial relief.
This will cost roughly $50,000.
The dollars were invested not only in exterior repairs, but also were with interior improvements.
We tried to make the house livable better than what it was before the storm, which means we do all the amenities, cabinetry, new doors, painting the walls and the ceilings, the whole 9 yards.
Mennonite officials say this home is now 95% complete, and that's a huge difference compared to December when it was only 5% of work done.
We have long-term volunteers which come and serve for 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks. They are in place. They have the continuity from one team to the next. And like I said earlier, each week we have a new group of weekly volunteers who do the actual work.
On March 16th, the homeowners will move back into their home and hopefully not relive the nightmare of the storm that once caused the destruction.
At the end of this week, I think we will be pretty well finished.
Cameron Brewer, Twin States News.
The biggest show and tell event for all ages in our area is coming the first weekend of April. April the 6th and 7th. 5th annual Mini Maker Fair will be taking place at Soule Steamworks. Crafters, educators, tinkerers, engineers, inventors, you name it, they'll be there. It's for makers of any age, and there is no charge to have an exhibit along with free admission. More makers are needed to help showcase all the talent in the county and surrounding counties.
We're really excited with the makers that we have, but there's always someone out there doing something fun and interesting that maybe they'd like to share with everybody during the event. This is an important event because it allows people to share what they're doing and show what they're doing. It's the greatest show and tell event in this area.
Well, if you're a maker and interested in being part of this, simply visit our website to see how to sign up.
Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church in Meridian is hosting its 20th annual Hoops for Jesus Spring Break Co-ed Basketball Empowerment Camp. The camp will continue until Thursday, March 14th. There are several groups of teams made up ranging from various ages. The camp is free, and after the camp, there will be a tournament which includes the 4th annual Battle of the Badges Shootout with the Meridian Police Department.
We have inspirational speakers that come in throughout the course of this week. We're emphasizing the importance of going to college. And as you've noticed around the arena, we've got banners from a lot of the major college institutions. We're pushing college scholarships. We're pushing taking it to the next level.
Registration is open until Wednesday at the Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church. The president unveils his 2020 budget proposal, reigniting the debate with Congress over border wall funds.
Ray Bogan is in Washington with the latest.
In this year's final budget, the word wall wasn't mentioned once, but today the White House put wall construction front and center for next year's budget proposal. The president's 2020 budget proposal arrived on Capitol Hill Monday morning, hot off the presses. Called A Budget for a Better America, the Trump administration is asking Congress to approve a record $4.7 trillion in federal spending, including an increase in military spending and sharp cuts to domestic programs like education and environmental protection.
This budget reflects the president's priorities to ensure that all Americans can benefit from the nation's historic economic boom and record low unemployment.
But Democrats say the president's blueprint was dead upon arrival, considering it calls for another $8.6 billion in border wall funds.
It's still amazing. The Trump administration proposes year after year after year that the American taxpayer pay billions of dollars for a border wall that President Trump said would be completely free.
The budget plan comes as the Senate is set to vote on a resolution this week to block the president's emergency declaration.
Let's not forget the only reason he has the authority to call a national emergency is because Congress gave him the right to do so.
Critics caution that the president's plan also adds nearly $5 trillion in debt over the next 5 years.
I'm perfectly fine with the deficits as they are, as long as we're doing it wisely and creating growth.
The president's budget proposal is a starting point for Congress and the Trump administration to negotiate. The next fiscal year begins October 1st. In Washington, Ray Bogan, Fox News.
The FDA has approved a new drug that some will say changes lives. Those battling depression will explain how it works.
Plus, Amazon announcing it's hiring hundreds of people that will be able to work from the comfort of their own home. Hear how to become one of their customer service associates. job, but you don't feel like clocking in from 9 to 5? Well, Amazon is hiring, and you don't need to leave the couch in order to head to the office. The online retail giant announcing it's on a hiring spree for customer service associates. Amazon looking for more than 3,000 remote workers across 18 states. The job pays about $15 an hour and includes health care coverage after 90 days of employment. Amazon will be looking for people with flexible hours and customer service experience, but that doesn't necessarily mean call center experience is needed.
Well, depression affects millions of Americans each day, but last week the FDA approved a new drug some say will be life-changing for those battling the disorder.
Esketamine is a nasal spray and is the first product to have gotten the okay in years. Eric Perry has more.
I went from not wanting to be alive to now I don't even think about not being alive.
Barbara Bailey has been in a battle for decades.
I went back to look at how many different medicines I've tried, and it's been 16 medicines over 20 years.
She's been diagnosed with treatment-resistant depression, also chronic migraines that left her in bed 80% of the week.
In the fall, I didn't even have any goals. I just wanted to survive.
Bailey says it wasn't until she came across Dr. Patrick Oliver and his ketamine therapy could she only see the light.
I was really, really terrified that it wasn't going to work because I didn't know what that meant at that point, what I was going to do.
When you hear something that's too good to be true, obviously we're naturally skeptical, but when you go out and when you talk to patients like Barbara, you see the profound impact that they've had.
Dr. Patrick Oliver says it's a game-changing treatment, far different from any medication currently out.
It's the difference between working on a telegraph versus a telephone or text message. And it's a very different way that the brain uses to communicate. And so this seems to be targeting people in a very rapid fashion.
Patients come in and get the medicine via IV under the careful watch of a doctor. For the first time in years, the FDA approved a new drug by Johnson & Johnson called esketamine that's in the form of a nasal spray.
That the spray is a good option for many people. It will still be physician office administered. And so I think it can still be done in a safe and effective manner.
Although effective, the spray might be pricey.
It is between $4,700 and $6,500 for the first month versus an IV infusion, which it can be done for 6 infusions can be done for less than $3,000.
As Dr. Oliver pushes for other doctors and psychiatrists to turn to what he calls a life-saving treatment, patients like Barbara are thankful she now has hope for tomorrow.
It's hard to be a naysayer when it's your last resort.
There is no word when the nasal spray will be available. However, esketamine is often abused as a party drug known as Special K. Dr. Oliver warns against using this, and it should only be administered by a trained professional.
Speaking of a trained professional,
yes,
we have
Mark,
a licensed wizard.
I'm not licensed. There's no license.
He's a guy that's
not a driving test, Mark.
Tell us the weather is going to be pretty good. Pretty much the same. I'm going to say below average today.
By how many degrees, Mark, is your guess?
It's about 2 degrees.
About 2 degrees?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark could be right.
Oh, well, yeah.
Of course, Mark's always right. We were just slightly below normal today, but we'll get a nice warm-up as we go on into the next couple days, although that comes with the risk of some showers and thunderstorms. We'll talk about it after the break. And welcome back again. We were slightly below average today as our resident sidekick Mark found us or told us 66 degrees was what we were at here in Meridian, 54 being our low. So our lows were quite a bit above normal, but we didn't get up that high today because we had so many clouds across the area as well as some rainfall, just under an inch. And this was reported again earlier, right about 5 o'clock. So we are over an inch now, and we're sitting probably about 1.5 inches above average for this time of year. And yeah, everybody's favorite. Notice our sunrise and sunset. So yep, we're in the 7 o'clock time frame now because remember daylight saving time happened on Sunday. I hope you changed your clocks, because I forgot to change my oven clock and kind of freaked out today. So right now outside we're sitting in the 50s, upper 50s down near Quitman. And those showers and thunderstorms that moved through our area earlier, well, they've since dissipated, and the main system is now moving on into Florida. But there's plenty of moisture on out to the west, and so that will be moving into our area. As we're going throughout the next several days, you can see here, here's all this moisture, Pacific moisture. See, there's a nice boundary on off to the west, and this is the start of a low pressure system that's going to rapidly intensify and move up over the central U.S. And there's going to be a cold front along with it that's going to be moving through our area, giving us a chance for some showers. We're talking Wednesday night as well as on into your Thursday. Some of those could be severe. We're only in a marginal risk right now, so we're not looking at a large risk of tornadoes or anything like that. But anytime you hear severe weather, you always want to think hail, winds, and tornadoes. They're all possible, but it's looking less likely at the moment. Lows for tonight will remain in the 50s. Those winds 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the northeast. Rather cloudy, so overall it's not going to be a great night if you have to get out, but those clouds help keep some of the radiation and help keep us again in the 50s. And then for your Tuesday, mild conditions. Those showers on off to the west will move into our area again. We're talking Wednesday night on to your Thursday. So Wednesday and Thursday, not looking great overall. Overcast, maybe some showers and thunderstorms. Yeah, not too great. But tomorrow's looking overall pretty nice. We'll be in the mid-70s. We'll get some breaks in the clouds, hopefully see some sunshine, especially on off to our north and to our west. Those winds 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the east. And then as we go on into your Wednesday, those are going to become breezy. Yeah, we're talking winds 20 to 25 miles per hour, gusts up to 30. Bad hair day all around. Forecast or future radar tonight, not really showing anything, maybe a few scattered showers on off to the west near Jackson. That's really about it. And then later this week, this is the big dip in the jet stream associated with that low pressure. We're talking snow showers up to north, cold temperatures. These will slowly make their way into our area, but they're only going to last for a couple days, really. Some showers late this week, moving on off to our south. That'll be, again, past us, but we do have that shot for some slightly severe weather. Talking 1 to 1.5 inches of rain in total after everything is all said and done over the next week. And then here we go. Tuesday, Wednesday, 74 degrees. Again, we'll start to cloud on up tomorrow afternoon. Chance of thunderstorms overnight, Wednesday night on into your Thursday. And then look at our temperatures. Yeah, they drop into the 60s for Friday, 50s to start off your weekend. Overall, though, we will have some sunshine, so that'll help warm us up back into the 60s for Sunday into Monday of next week. The only low on there I don't like, there are some lower 40s, is at mid-30, 37 degrees Saturday night. Thankfully, it's above freezing, so there is some silver lining to it. But we got to get through, again, these next couple days of having some cloudy conditions and maybe a few rain showers or two.
Thanks a lot, sir. Appreciate it. Well, sports is next. Stick around.
Dogs are looking to earn a #1 seed for the NCAAs. Now he loves people. He loves people more than dogs. He jump right up on.
Ross said the haircut didn't look that bad. Oh, I thought you meant his haircut. You're talking about the
dogs.
Yeah, the dog's haircut didn't look.
Well, it was around its snout and everything. That was what was the problem. Good evening and welcome back to Twin State Sports. I'm Zach Seminar. Despite phenomenal seasons that led to NCAA tournament championship game appearances, the MSU Lady Bulldogs have been tripped up short of an SEC tournament title each of the last 3 years by the Gamecocks of South Carolina. But on Sunday, MSU was determined to finally get their highly coveted SEC crown. Dogs looking to earn a #1 seed for the NCAAs, taking on 10th-seeded Arkansas. Zaria Wiggins getting some early run in the game's second quarter, puts the Dogs up 16. Later in the period, Tierra McCown is going to go to work. First, she gets the bucket under the rim. Then McCown is going to use her size and strength to power through for 2 more, but the Dogs, they could do it from distance as well. Here is Breamber Scott left open on the wing. She knocks it home. Then with under a minute to go, the game isn't in question, but that won't stop Andra Espinoza-Hunter, whose 3 gives the Dogs a hundo. She hit a record 8 threes in an SEC tournament game to finish with a game-high 24, and the SEC tournament crown finally belongs to the Dogs.
Man, she's made me a better coach. She's just been a real blessing for me personally as well as professionally. This is why you do what you do. She's going to graduate. I think she corrected me. I said a 2.67. I think it's a 2.7 something, but she's going to graduate in 4 years. That's going to be such a big day for me personally to see her graduate and walk that stage. So I'm just so proud of her. Her mama Tracy entrusted us with her. I hope we hadn't let them down.
Pittsburgh Steelers have pulled the trigger on an Antonio Brown trade, sending the disgruntled wideout to the Oakland Raiders for a 3rd and 5th round pick late Saturday night. Per Brown's request, the Raiders will restructure the 30-year-old's current deal. He will now make $50.1 million over the next 3 seasons. Over $30 million of that is guaranteed. The trade of Brown will be made official when the new league year opens on Wednesday. Brown has caught at least 100 balls for at least 1,200 yards with 8 or more touchdowns per year in his last 6 seasons in the league. Well, a soccer fan in England is facing 14 weeks behind bars after running onto the field this weekend, attacking and punching Jack Grealish. The 27-year-old landed this knuckle sandwich to the side of the neck and face of Grealish, also costing the outrageous fan a hefty fine and a 10-year ban from all football matches in the UK. Grealish was able to pop back up onto his feet a few seconds later. Man was ushered off the pitch while blowing kisses to the crowd. Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series was in Phoenix this weekend for the Ticket Guardian 500, and a late race battle with about 20 to go between Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch would decide the outcome. After a back-and-forth race for the top spot that lasted nearly 5 laps, Busch able to pull away and set sail for his first Cup win of the season, becoming the 4th different driver in 4 races to clinch a playoff spot. Win for Busch, 199th across the top 3 touring NASCAR series. He'll pack up for California next week.
Yeah, it was certainly tough to pass. Yes, it wasn't easy. You were really stuck and mired behind guys. You know, I got close to Blaney, and then I got real tight, and then he kind of got away, and then I ran him back down, and it's just kind of like an accordion thing. You know, you cool your stuff off, you go back after him, and then you get too hot and too tight when you're behind him, and then you got to cool back off again. I just started working the racetrack and just started moving around and trying to find something and trying to get low and high and everywhere in between to try to just, you know, keep trying to find clean air or cleaner air in order to get by him.
Still trying to figure out this new rules package for NASCAR that was supposed to create a little bit more passing, a little bit more aggressive driving, put the onus in the hands of the drivers. And the guy who finished 5th yesterday, more than 10 seconds off the lead, that's not what we want to see in NASCAR. So hopefully we can figure this thing out and make it a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, maybe we'll get that done before the end of the season.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir. Stick around. We'll be back right after this.
All right, well, going into your Tuesday, we'll have a little bit of sunshine, be in the mid-70s. And we'll start the cloud on up, though, Tuesday afternoon on into your Wednesday. Chance of thunderstorms overnight Wednesday on into your Thursday. That cold front sweeps on through, and that drops our temperatures. Overnight lows in the 40s, except for Saturday night, and our highs in the 60s, 50s to start your weekend. And there's that Saturday night low of 37 degrees. Then we start to warm back up into the mid to upper 60s for Sunday into Monday. Overall, not a bad 7 days as far as temperatures are concerned. Maybe. It's better than flooding all week, so I don't know.
Yeah, we'll survive.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
We'll make it through. Thankfully, rainfall totals have decreased since last week, so that's a little positive sign. Again, 1 to maybe 2 inches in the heavier cells.
Yikes. Not bad. I like the 70s and 60s, though. Those high percentages.
Here we go about basketball. Mark is a basketball genius.
Thank you for watching Twin States News. See you here tomorrow. Have a great evening.
Follow us online, like us on Facebook, and visit our website, twinstates.news.